Good evening. Thanks for joining us for the news at 10. As the city of Ketchum in Blaine County grows, city leaders are really working to build more housing for people actually working in the city.
You know, in a resort town like Ketchum, the service industry workers are vital, but even those in the teaching and nursing fields, they're even having to find homes way out of town. And by way out of town, I say think Twin Falls area, like 80 miles away.
Oh my goodness.
As much as it's costing employees to cover that distance, it's also costing local businesses.
But Ketchum has a plan. Tristan Lewis joins us now to explain why it's so crucial for the city to act on affordable workforce housing now. Tristan, this is really a movement we're seeing across Idaho. This is a great thing.
Yeah, Morgan, Brian, Ketchum is considered a resort town, but the number of long-term rentals lost over the years is substantial. In 1970, long-term rentals made up 31% of the city's residential units. In 2019, there were only 10% of LTRs. That's according to the city's housing assessment. But with initiative on the May ballot, the city is hoping they'll be able to get the funds to help meet the demand for affordable workforce housing.
It's really been a very difficult situation.
Mayor Neil Bradshaw says the city of Ketchum has a shortage of housing. There's plenty of short-term rentals, but not so much long-term.
And that's where our workforce are. And so we're seeing a lot of our workforce commuting from further south.
Bradshaw says these issues have been happening for a while, but the pandemic amplified them. He says restaurants and businesses are having to close multiple times a week because of the shortage of employees.
We really want to provide as much as possible support to our businesses and support to the businesses also that serve our tourists to our town.
According to the city's housing needs assessment, Ketchum will need 660 to 980 homes in the next 10 years. The assessment found its workforce primarily lives in lower middle-class households.
And so now it's really a question of how do we address that? How do we manage this changing situation?
The city of Ketchum has released its Housing Action Plan, which hopes to increase access, create, and preserve homes for a range of incomes.
I think just starting the conversation, honestly, is the best thing, and bringing in the stakeholders.
Michelle Griffith is the executive director for Arch Community Housing Trust, which helps develop affordable housing to residents and families in Blaine County.
The plan identifies a number of avenues, including trying to encourage homeowners to put existing homes into a long-term rental pool. That has an immediate benefit, which is very helpful.
The plan hopes to secure a minimum of 650 units of local workforce housing in the next 10 years, ensure at least 60% of the city's housing is owner or long-term occupied, and 40% of the workforce can actually live in Ketchum.
If we just have second homes, if we have dark homes, it doesn't make for a healthy town. And so more people living and working in our town is going to be good for the health of our town.
And to help fund some of this plan, the city is putting forth a ballot measure that would increase local option taxes, or known as LOT. If passed, there would be an increase on 0.75% on retail sales, 2% on lodging, 2% on buy-the-drink liquor, and 1% on building materials. Mayor Bradshaw says under Idaho law, resort towns are able to offset the costs of services to visitors and tourists. Voters will be able to decide on May 17th whether to raise lot collection percentages. And Brian, the measure has already been around for a while. This would just increase lot taxes.
Yeah, so basically when people come into town and buy stuff and use stuff, it helps kind of pay for all of the workers to serve them.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much, Tristan.